Chronometry calibrated. The gateway will open in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Analyzing data. Likelihood of parallel universes now at 35%. Continuing analysis of the many worlds hypothesis.
Hello, my name is Gayfesh. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Hello, my name is Moss. You kill my father. Prepare to die.
Marriage. Sweet marriage. Wait, that was the one we were supposed to do, right?
No.
Hello, everyone. My name is DemonMama. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
There we go. Jesus Christ, you took me completely off there.
The moment you said that, I was like, I'm going to drop this one. Yeah.
No wonder you wanted to go last.
Makes sense.
All right. Yeah, no, obviously we're doing Princess Bride. It needs no introduction. We're getting into it. Let's fucking go. There's so much to go. I don't even know where to start. Oh, here's a note. This movie does rodents dirty. Rodents don't look like that. There are, in fact, rodents of unusual size, and they're capybaras, and they're just the chillest animals on the planet.
They are really, really cute. Yeah. I've having gotten to hang out with capybaras, like, they really are so chill.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies that's like, this movie was doing the giga star-studded cast before it was cool. And I mean, like, some of these were like literally like debut roles, like Robin Wright.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, childhood crush big time.
For sure, for sure. She was Jenny. Sorry, she was Jen A.
Yeah.
She was also in that horrible Grendel movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I
the
don't even
CGI one. She was the queen. The one with Angelina Jolie.
Was that one of the Robert Zemeckis Uncanny Valley movies?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, famously or infamously later in House of Cards. And no, it's really incredible. Like, I don't know why I didn't realize it. Maybe it's just because, like, Columbo wasn't relevant to me at an earlier point in my life. But the grandfather, Peter Falk, being Columbo, I was just like, wait, hold on a second now. That's wild. It was just, this movie is incredible.
I was expecting him to, as he's packing up and leaving, to just turn back around to Fred Savage and go, oh, and just one more thing.
One more thing. And, it's just incredible. And, like, oh, man, Mandy Patinkin, and, oh, my God, I love Mandy Patinkin. This movie, like, made me love Mandy Patinkin for my entire life. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know, I have a song of Mandy Patinkin's I've been listening to recently, which is his...
He did music.
He sings a lot, and I quite like his singing. And he did a rendition of Send in the Clowns from a Little Night Music. And God, it is beautiful. It is so heart-wrenching. And if you're out there and you like musical songs that are very heart-wrenching, you should go and listen to Mandy Patinkin's cover of Send in the Clowns. It's heartbreaking. Oh God, the cast oh my God.
I think Christopher Guest is the best actor in the entire world. Like, because I hadn't ever seen him in anything else. He's Count Rugen in this, but having just watched This Is Spinal Tap, and then like having that recognition jog, I laughed so hard. I'm like the absolute fucking idiot that he plays in This Is Spinal Tap, and then like he's so in it, like in this role, like he is so like serious and like I think the performance is flawless. I think this movie might be a perfect film aside from not passing the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
It's not a very feminist movie.
Passing the Bechdel test isn't the end all be all.
No. She's a damsel. She doesn't do a lot, whatever.
She does hit the ROUS with a
little.
With a log.
She can get off my dress.
Oh no, she gets one good walloping.
Star Trek Insurrection passed the Bechdel test by having two women talk about their boobs, so it's not the end all be all.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
The Count Rugen. And remember, this is for posterity. Oh,
the notes. It's so good.
Interesting.
Genuinely so wonderful.
I have a question.
Yes.
What exactly does Wesley do as the Dread Pirate Roberts? Like, the Dread Pirate Roberts never takes prisoners, right? So is he just a mass murderer? Has he just been off doing that and we're not going to worry about that because that's incidental to the plot of him reuniting with Buttercup?
I think so.
Well, I mean, the whole thing about the Dread Pirate Roberts throughout the entire film is that the the Dread Pirate Roberts is all a name, right? It's all
right, but the name is built on the reputation, and the reputation can't be maintained if Dread Pirate Roberts lets people go.
I mean, true, but he clearly does. They've
does,
passed
but
the name multiple times, you know. So like, it's probably like, and also, you know, at the end they do the whole like gambit with the Holocaust cloak, as it's called.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, and
maybe Roberts is like never actually kills anyone, but just makes everyone think I'm the one person who got away.
Yeah,
just hope that none of those people ever meet up at a tavern somewhere and go, wait, Roberts let us both away?
I only just realized there is possibly a reference to this in Pirates of the Caribbean, because there's a part, I think in the first movie, where they're like, oh, there's never any survivors. And then it's like, but where did the stories come from? So it's like, yeah. But I do think it is pretty much implied that like, as the Dread Pirate Roberts, like you kill like most of the people that you steal from. If the reputation for 20 years has been, he doesn't take prisoners, there are no survivors, to the extent that the princess is like, yeah, no, he's 100% dead. Like there's a 0% chance.
Yeah.
She's not holding out waiting at all.
Yeah. Well, it's also, you know, we know, you know, the Dread Pirate Roberts is always pirating in the waters near Florin this time of year.
You know that he's always there and he's still there. Like you haven't sent your armada after him. That's crazy. if he's that much of a vagabond.
You know, that's the thing. But like, it's you know, we know he's preying on like monarchy privateers and shit. So.
He's definitely like, I would definitely take a murderous pirate over Humperdinck, who is literally trying to start a war which will cause far more death and destruction than one pirate can do. It's just one of those things where, like, because he's the romantic lead, you're not really supposed to think of, I mean, you know, for a long time, pirates are like, what, they're on the cover of every romance novel, right? So, you know, there is that romantic aspect to piracy that we had in film, where you don't really think about what it actually means to be a pirate, and this movie is definitely not asking that question.
Yeah,
I think all of the main characters in this are killers, or at least violent. So it's like, you know, I think that we're meant to kind of just understand that as part and parcel of the world. Like there's torture, they kill people, like there's a murder plot, there's
medieval
we're trying
times.
To start a war. Medieval times, the herpes, you know, we got to keep it realistic.
They do say, like, I mean, Inigo and Fezzik are like, you know, they don't want to, they're like, you didn't say anything about killing someone in the beginning, and they do seem to keep by that. Although, like, at the same time, of course, they will kill people if they have to. Like, so yeah, it does seem like there's like a reluctance to kill, but like, you know.
I mean, Mandy's whole thing is that he fights everybody. He's like, I'm a master swords fighter and I'm going to kill this dude in revenge. So he's not afraid of it. And also there is a line that I wrote down. It's one of the only notes that I took, because I watched this movie with subtitles for the very first time, when Fezzik is fighting with Wesley and he's like getting choked out. He's like, the line is battling gangs for local charities. Most insane thing I've ever heard. Like, what are you talking about?
Fezzik, his lines are definitely benefiting from subtitles. Andre's accent is very thick. And he's not, and I notice even sometimes some of the subtitles are just like correcting his like line misreads. He's like dropping words. He never says Vizzini. He always says Vincini.
Yeah, Vincini.
Which, like, Andre, he wasn't really an actor. He was a wrestler, and they cast him because he was big. And I think the aspect of like kind of the childlike innocence that he carries to the role, with not having his line reads that well, he's not the best actor. I think it works. I think it's fine.
Oh, I think it works so good. Yeah,
it brings levity to it.
Subtitles definitely help understanding some of the things that he's saying.
The levity of that performance, kind of brings it away from being so dead serious, because the plot line on its own is so dead serious.
There's just a line that I love in this movie where it's like Miracle Max. He's like, I'll call the Brute Squad. And he's like, I'm on the Brute Squad. And he's like, you are the Brute Squad. Yes, so good.
There's half my notes are just quotes. Like,
this movie it will infest your brain with lifelong like brainworms, even down to the what's he say? He says, you're an honorable man, I'd hate to kill you. Oh, you're an honorable man, I'd hate to die. And then he goes,
you seem a decent fellow.
Begin. You seem a decent fellow. That's right. And then the part where he goes, begin, like the way he says it is just like, we as kids we would say that stupid begin like that in that exact intonation. combination like over and over and over again. Like
Choreography on that fight is insane, by the
oh,
way.
it's so good.
There's
It's
one
so
point
much
where he
fun.
goes between the legs and fight, and like Ting Ting behind him. It's so much going on in that
It's
fight.
theatrical. It's definitely like I've done a lot of acting with like people who've been in the Seattle Knights. I'm not like myself particularly a skilled stage combatant. I've done some stage combat, but I know people who are expert like stage sword fighters, and like I'm sure they would have a lot of criticisms about the way that the fight is done in terms of like a realistic portrayal, like, oh, there's so many openings, but like it's a fairy tale story, so it's not really intended to be a realistic looking fight. It's supposed to be a fun looking fight.
It's supposed to be fun, and also you're supposed to see all their goofy and funny and expressive expressions.
Yeah,
which is a big part of that whole thing.
Also, I imagine that they probably didn't go for those openings because they're both men of honor who don't want to kill each other. So
yeah, they actually don't want to. They disarm each other like several times, and nobody goes for like the killing blow.
Yeah,
I would no less want to destroy a stained glass window than an artist such as yourself. However, I can't have you following me. Bonk.
Mm-hmm. Traumatic brain injury.
There's so many just traumatic brain injuries in this movie. Everybody gets knocked out.
Oh my god, it is so perfect when they go all the way to the like they resolve the number of like KO knockouts by being like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to jog him that hard.
Mm-hmm. The dude's whole like chin bobbed. It's crazy.
Oh my god, yeah. There's like this movie is in my opinion a perfect movie. This movie's IMDb score is evident of the fact that you cannot trust the internet for anything realistic ever. The fact that it only has an 8.0 on IMDb is a indictment of the entire user base of that goddamn website. I'm so sorry, but like I don't know how you can watch this and walk away being like, yeah, that movie was anything other than like a 9 or a 10. Like I could get if you're like, oh,
I am checking the 1-star reviews on IMDb to see if there's anything good coming through here. Inconceivable that it is rated as high as it is one of the titles in the review.
Oh, come on.
It brought a smile to my face when the credits began to roll.
Joyless.
Like, is it just nostalgia? Like I've watched this movie since I was a baby, so I don't know. Like I don't know what my perception is aside from that.
I think it is a film. If this exact movie came out today, like the pacing of it, it's definitely the pacing of an older movie. I think if we didn't have that film era nostalgia for it and that kind of slower pace that movies used to have, that I don't think it would play as well. So there is that aspect of it that I think.
Yeah, if you're a modern moviegoer.
Oh my God, then the modern moviegoer must change.
I agree.
I truly
go watch Alien and calm down.
Yeah, like I mean, movies not being able to take time and breathe is legitimately a scourge of cinema. It makes me so mad, and also it's just audiences depriving themselves of a good time. But I assert you must be joyless or truly lost to think this movie is like anything below a 9. Like I'm sorry, I'm just so sorry.
I was literally I was in a friend's Discord and we were watching movies. I'm like, oh, I'm reviewing Princess Bride. Let's throw that one on. And she was just like, I actually despise that movie. And I'm like, we can't be friends then anymore. And she's like, why does everyone keep saying that? I'm like, well, maybe you should listen to them.
And you have to just hit him. You just have to hit your friend with the begin.
Or just knock them over the head and plug them into the machine, take off their life, and then they'll understand why it's a good movie. Torture them into liking it, as you do.
That always works.
The Rotten Tomatoes is the closest I've ever seen. It's 93 from the critics and 94 from the audience.
So I can't trust 6% of those Rotten Tomatoes if they're only giving it a 94%.
6% makes sense for like the population of people who are either bots or are functionally indistinguishable from a bot, Yeah. So
spiritually
just
bots.
Like the unity there that like the critics and the reviewers who just like the lay person. Because like I feel like a lot of the time there's a disparity on Rotten
almost
Tomatoes.
Always. Yeah. It's a thing. Rotten Tomatoes it does happen where you get like, I'm trying to think, there was, oh my God, one of the movies we watched had like, now I can't remember which one it was that I was like, wow, the score on this is like phenomenal. But yeah, there's a lot of movies where it's like a disparity. Comedies especially are ones where it's like, if the audience likes it, the critics hate it, and vice versa. I can't imagine the cursed existence that you must have to live to not be able to enjoy this movie. It really does have to
some
be like
people were just born without the ability to feel joy and whimsy, and they are our sworn enemies. We have to defeat them.
Yeah, you've severed the line of fate. Reload a save or continue in your doomed existence kind of thing.
I think it's the subtleties, because like when I started watching, so I've watched this film since I was a literal baby, but as I started like processing it as an adult, I would find myself like catching things in the dialogue that I'm like, who wrote this thing? This is incredible. Like I never noticed that before. And it's also little things in the blocking. Like there's a scene where the prince calls in his gatekeeper. And first of all, the gatekeeper is across the room and he's like, get over here with his fingers. He like gestures with his fingers, like, come on over here. And then the gatekeeper like kneels and puts his hand on the armrest of the chair. And Humperdinck just like looks at the hand and the gatekeeper takes his hand away. And then Humperdinck leans his arm against the chair. And I'm like, it's so fucking funny, but it's in these little tiny moments.
Yeah. That character is so good in so many ways. Oh, you mean this gate key?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have a gate key. Fezzik, tear off his arms. Oh, this gate key.
Yeah. He's like, my spy network hasn't heard anything about that. Like, that's the first time I've caught that line. Oh, there's a spy network. Okay. You've got a master of whispers. Cool.
There's like every time I watch this movie, I walk away with another scene that I like didn't remember that I now like I'm obsessed with. And one of them is that like really, really, really got me was the king and Princess Buttercup are walking back to the like honeymoon suite, and like she gives him a little peck on the cheek and he's like, oh, what was that for? And then she's like, oh, you've always been so kind to me and I'll miss you because I'm going to kill myself the moment we get to the honeymoon suite. And then he goes, won't that be nice? She missed me. And I was just like, I never remembered that line.
Don't remember that? That's great.
I don't. It's so good. It's so funny.
Like, is he just deaf? He might just be deaf.
Or just like a horny old man who's like, oh, she kissed me and wasn't listening to a thing she said.
It's also really funny because another detail I never noticed in the movie was the fact that he's supposed to be dead. They announced the death of the king earlier.
Was a dream.
No, that was in the dream.
Oh, that's in the dream. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that
like
it was just
hastened
like
the wedding. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, I thought it was more of Humperdinck like taking advantage of his doddering dad kind of like situation.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. That wasn't the dream. I did misremember that. Good point.
Another thing that I only found this last time, I was watching with my mom, who is fluent in Spanish, and in the scene where a guard goes to confront Inigo in the thieves' forest and goes, ho there, and Inigo responds, I will not budge, keep your ho there. Ho there is Spanish for fuck, which my 70-year-old Christian mom had to point out to me.
That's great. That whole the like brute squad clearing out the thieves' forest, and the thieves' forest is like clearly just a town of peasants who are just like living there.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Oh, there's just so many like great details in this movie that are perfect and like undersung.
I love that the guard who mentions is like, there's one Spaniard we're having trouble clearing, and he's got like a big scar across his face where the implication is like, oh yeah, that was from Inigo.
Yeah, he's clearly just been knifed in the face.
One of the most amazing and like, I love the scene where Inigo is like praying to his father in the sunlight. He's like, guide my sword. And then the sword like kind of pokes the tree and he's like, oh, and is like so defeated. Also like tied that to the line earlier where it's like, oh, which knot is it? It's always so impossible to find.
Yeah.
And he finds it literally immediately. He's like, oh, this one. It's just like,
You wonder how many people accidentally stumble into the pit of despair.
the pit of despair.
As long as we're talking about the pit of despair, when Inigo and Fezzik find it, you see Inigo go into the door, and then you see Fezzik head toward the door and like crouch down, and then it cuts away because I'm pretty sure Andre could not actually fit through that door.
Doubt it.
He had a really bad back. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's also another scene like that where it's like, it's kind of funny that when they're riding on the horses out of the castle at the very end, and it's just very visibly not Andre the Giant on the horse because it's just a normal sized guy, and it's like they all just hop on the horses. Like the horse should be twice as big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice the hat? It was Rob Reiner's hat from This Is Spinal Tap was the kid's bedroom.
Oh my God.
I didn't notice
so
that.
Good. I didn't notice that.
The guy who did the music, which by the way, the fucking music,
Mark Knopfler?
Mark Knopfler, whatever his name is. He apparently, according to a Reddit post that I saw, he only agreed to do the movie if there was some Easter egg of Spinal Tap, and so that's what it was. It was the hat that Rob Reiner wore as the documentary, and
As long as we're talking about links between Rob Reiner films, since we are doing Rob Reiner's filmography. Okay, so last movie we had the Pond Leeches in Stand By Me. In Princess Bride, we have the Fire Swamps. I have not seen the next movie we're doing yet, but I'm going to assume that Harry meets Sally in some sort of bog.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yep. Yeah. There's definitely a bog fixation, a bog or fen or maybe a marsh.
Yeah.
Morass,
like the untamable wilderness. It's not just untamed; it's untamable.
We mentioned in the last movie quicksand and leeches, and I have encountered both in my life
at the same time.
No, thankfully. So I honestly, it could have happened. I think I was very close to having both at the same time. But quicksand, obviously, this movie it's the lightning sand, so it's distinct from quicksand.
It's quicker.
It's much quicker, much quicker. But no, the time I encountered quicksand in my life, it was genuinely terrifying. Now, thankfully, it was not amazingly deep, so I wasn't like in mortal danger. But I had a moment that I'll never forget of being like, oh, like, am I gonna die for like a second? Because I stepped into it and my boot basically, which was tied to my foot pretty tightly, it was not possible for me to remove it from the mud, from the quicksand, which is really
it's
kind of like
non-Newtonian fluid, right? It's like oobleck.
Yeah, it's like oobleck. It is like it was unbelievable, and I actually ended up having to desperately tear my foot out of my boot, which hurt a lot. Like it was difficult, and then like kind of like crawl flop and then fish my boot out afterwards, like really work it out from like reaching over and going and slowly getting it out. It is very the like sucking sticking power was crazy, and I feel like I was very lucky in that like it was pretty shallow. It could only go down so far because it was at like the edge of it was like near a river in the woods when I was running around as a kid, and it was pretty scary. Definitely scarier than leeches.
Anything that immobilizes you is not good.
Yeah, a leech isn't gonna kill you, at least not immediately. You might have some like disease from it, but like quicksand will kill you in a matter of minutes if you fall in deep enough. So
I actually don't know how many leech-borne illnesses there are. There's got to be some, right?
Any kind of blood parasite, there's got to be some disease vector there, just because they're bypassing your skin.
Plus risk of infection.
Okay, so keeping with my theme of noting Star Trek actors in these films, we've actually got a couple here. Most notably, everyone will know Wallace Shawn is the Grand Nagus on Deep Space Nine.
Oh my God, what a
role he plays beautifully, who's not dissimilar from Vizzini.
No.
Also, we've got Carol Kane, more recently, is the engineer on the Enterprise in Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Oh.
Yeah, she plays a similarly kooky character there. And also, Humperdinck, Chris Sarandon, was in an episode of Deep Space Nine where he played the guy who had the luck-altering device, and he opened a competing casino across from Quarks. So, there's your three.
That's so good. Oh, man. Like, it was very, like, the whole time I was watching it this time, like, having now watched a decent amount of Deep Space Nine, I could not stop thinking of the Grand Nagus. Like, the Vizzini character, there is a lot of overlaps, down to even, like, the little funny expressions that Wallace Shawn does. Like, the part,
he is a cartoon character. Like, how is this man real?
So powerful. It is it goes to show you that, like, being a little tiny gremlin who makes cartoon faces is a powerful archetype that you can spec into if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him in The Incredibles.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I love how often Wallace Shawn plays these like despicable despicable capitalist characters, considering that the actor himself is like an avowed socialist. He's actually an incredibly base human being, but which probably helps him play these capitalist characters with the appropriate amount of, vitriol and despicability.
He makes them so obsequious.
You've committed one of the great blunders. The first of which is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well known is never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line. God, what a line.
Ridiculous.
That whole sequence is great.
Like, he didn't need to switch the cups. He could have just said, I'm taking the wine in front of you. That was the whole, I don't know what. It was just.
I mean, his
dizzying. He thinks he's outsmarting him. He thinks he's outsmarting him. That's what he's doing. Like, the whole thing is just like, he thinks he's smart. He's not. He was never going to win that. And like,
Plato,
he's
morons.
And like, he's talking about this whole plan that which is not even his plan. Humperdinck hired him to do this. So it's Humperdinck's plan, and he's not actually doing any of the work. Fezzik is the one. Oh, by the way, Andre the Giant, we're gonna give him an honorary Star Trek title. Fezzik can be a Vulcan because he gave Buttercup the nerve pinch. But
true. Yeah.
So Fezzik's the one who actually, got the princess, and Fezzik and Inigo were the ones who fought the Man in Black. Vizzini was really just there being short and screaming at them. He's like every abusive boss ever. He doesn't actually do anything.
Professional fun ruiner.
Yeah.
I do love the neck pinch part where he's like, oh good, no one will hear you scream, and then she goes, ah, and then it's like, it didn't even matter anyway. You could have done that anywhere.
I want to bring attention to the rhyming thing because I missed something. So like Inigo and Fezzik rhyme back and forth to each other, and it's super obvious at the beginning of the movie. And this is one of those, like, the subtitles helped me because later in the Thieves' Forest, Inigo's all drunk and he's like, I am waiting for Vizzini. And then Andre the Giant shows up and he says like something like, you're a meanie. But I never caught that line before, and he's just rhyming. And I'm like, oh, a little callback. It's so cute.
It's so good.
So there has been talk, and I'm generally against it, but there has been talk off and on over the last decade of doing a remake of the movie. And first off, don't. But second off, there is one way in which I think it would work. Muppets.
Oh my God. Yeah, Muppets would work. Yeah, that's probably the only way.
If you'll indulge me, I have the cast. First off, get the obvious out of the way. Wesley is Kermit, Buttercup is Miss Piggy. That's easy. That's for Inigo Montoya, we can go with Pepe the Prawn, who, because he has 4 arms, you could play up the whole using the wrong hands to sword fight thing a little longer.
Ooh.
Fezzik would be Sweetums. That seems fairly obvious. Vizzini would be Fozzie, and he would be called Fozzini.
Solid.
And now for some of the smaller roles, we've got the impressive clergyman could be the Swedish chef.
Yep.
Albino would be Bunsen and Beaker.
Yep.
And when Rugen shouts not to 50, could have Beaker go, me, 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 like mimicking the cadence. Miracle Max and Valerie could be Gonzo and Camilla. The ancient Booer would be Statler and Waldorf.
Of course.
And the rodent of unusual size would be Rizzo, who is not a particularly large rat, but he's about the same size as Kermit, who would be fighting him anyway, so that works. And then Humperdinck and Rugen, I think those should be human actors. I don't know who. I would leave that up to the casting director, whichever celebrity is most interested in doing a Muppet movie at the time.
Jonathan Groff?
I could see
as
him.
Humperdinck?
That could work.
Yeah, I think that would work. That's Hamilton, right? So I'm thinking of the right person.
Yeah. He was the king. Yeah. And for the framing tale, because we had, Columba reading it to Fred Savage, I think it should be Fred Savage reading it to his kid. I think that would be
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great. Okay, yeah, this is the only one I'll accept. If they I can't even imagine the tier of botch that will occur.
No, don't do it.
I mean, we're having another weird follow up, which is Spaceballs 2 is supposed to come out sometime this year.
At least it's in the same creative hands.
Yeah,
but the one redeeming aspect.
I'm actually quite excited for Spaceballs 2 because it the announcement trailer for it was just listing all of the franchises that have come out since the first Spaceballs, and it's very obvious that it's going to be a parody about the nature of franchises,
which I hope for.
Yeah.
And I'm holding out hope, but movies just aren't made or viewed or written or enjoyed or marketed the same way as they were before. And I don't know. We'll see if it can make the jump. Maybe it will be amazing, but I try not to let myself get too hyped for anything in the movie.
Should we do
world.
Mel Brooks movies at some point?
Oh my Lord, that would be
That would be a lot of fun.
I would love.
We're men in tights.
Yeah, with Carrie Elways, yeah.
Oh my God, it would be great. And I would love to do that. Yeah, I'd be down for that for sure.
That could be fun.
I remembered, by the way, what I was going to say, which is there is an incredible Wallace Shawn moment when they're in the boat in the eel-infested waters of the shrieking eels. And he's trying to give orders, and he just kind of goes, at one point, he's just like, ah! And he just screams. He just he runs out of words to say. He's like, ah! Ah! And I love
he doesn't even know how to sail. He's like, go there, grab that thing, do that. Like he literally, those are his words.
That other thing.
There's another line in that one that I never noticed before, which I just didn't get it as a kid, I guess, where he's like, Inigo goes, I wonder if he's using the same wind we are. It's just
like, I fucking wonder. Probably.
This is a great line.
I wish that I could write comedy even a fraction as good as these writers.
William Goldman. I've actually I last read it in high school, so it's been a long time. But I actually read the original book by William Goldman, who also wrote the screenplay. And
so cool.
The conceit of the book is that it is called the abridged version, and like they translate this conceit into the grandfather reading it to his grandson in the movie, but in the book it was William Goldman talking about how his father or grandfather used to read this book to him when he was like a kid, and when he grew up and got a hold of the book himself, he realized how much of the book his grandfather had left out, because the book itself was actually not a swashbuckling adventure, but a satire about the excesses of the monarchy. But it wasn't enjoyable for a kid at all, so he cut all of that out. And
there are in the movie, there are a couple times where he's like, okay, I'll skip forward a little bit, we'll skip past this part.
yeah
That's fun.
I love the like interaction between the grandpa and the kid, and like the way that he's like, you see him doing like some parenting, he's like, well, like you're getting very worked up, maybe we'll call it a day. Like it's just great. It's like it's very cute, and I love that.
Off-screen tragedy. Where's this kid's dad? Like
probably at work.
I guess at work. Yeah, maybe.
He's sick, staying home, middle of the day. His grandpa comes over to read him a book.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's the school day. By the way, quickest book read ever. Like, I feel like if I sit down and I really hardcore try to read a novel, I'm like not getting through it in one day. And I'm not a slow reader either.
There may have been some creative liberties taken with the size of the book, visually.
Yeah, because that's a novel.
It's a thick tome, yeah. Maybe it was large text.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, he's old. He needs a large text to read it.
And glasses. Now, I don't know. This is really a funny nitpick, but I do think it was funny, but I have a hard time believing that was a real mustache. That had to be a fake mustache,
yeah.
Right? It's like, if it wasn't a fake mustache, it was the most questionably colored mustache. Yeah, on Grandpa. It's like, did you like get into the powdered sugar before the shoot? It made me laugh a little bit. I was just like, damn, that mustache looks powdery.
Yeah, the prosthetics work. Like Miracle Max also has like old person prosthetics, right? Or was he actually that old?
Heavily. That was Billy Crystal and Carol Kane, who were not that old back then. So yeah, they're. In fact, my mom said that when she first saw the movie in theaters and the credits rolled and it said Billy Crystal, she said the entire audience was like, "Oh my god!" because they had no idea. They couldn't tell he was under so much makeup.
It was very dramatic. I do think it works great for the character. The entire Miracle Max scene is just a nonstop riot. It is just perfect. Humperdinck. Everything from that to like the to blathe, which as we all know means to gamble or to bet, right? What's he saying?
Yeah,
like,
to bluff.
To bluff, yeah. And it's just like, oh my God, it's so good. I love everything about this scene, all of the characters bouncing off of each other. It's just perfect. It is like probably the most joke dense like segment of the whole film. film?
Well, you got Billy Crystal and Carol Kane acting together.
Yeah.
It was going to be, funny. That's who they are. They are funny actors.
I've read that they had to put a dummy down for Carrie Elways because he kept laughing. He's supposed to be dead.
I bet it would be that would be
There's like
so
the couple
hard.
close-ups of his face where he was actually there, but I've heard that it was like a dummy for a lot of it, like a lot of the wide shots.
Well, they probably used a dummy for Fezzik to carry around just because Andre the Giant, he's a big guy, but still carrying an adult human that's a lot of mass.
Like he had a bad back. Like it was an issue. Oh my God. This is speaking of like the dead weight of Wesley. Something I did not notice before this watch through is like, okay, so they've gone to Miracle Max. They have the pill. They're about ready to post up on that bridge overlooking the gate. And is like Fezzik like puts Wesley down, but kind of on top of Inigo.
Yeah.
And there's just like really awkward, like Inigo is like face down kind of, and like struggling with the weight of an entire person on top of him. And it's like a blink and you miss it. There's no dialogue or anything. I just thought it was very, very funny.
There's so much good like physical comedy with the like limp Wesley.
Yes. Yeah. When Fezzik nods for him.
Yeah. And the like gently. And then the like also the suit of armor. It's great. And like, I don't know. I love that. It also, there's another part that's like in the ballpark that reminded me. It's when they're climbing the cliffs of insanity. And, Andre's got all three people strapped to him in these little harnesses, which is very funny. But specifically, the framing of all the shots where Vizzini is berating Fezzik it looks so funny. It looks like he's just like a little whiny baby, like this little mean screeching bald guy who's so tiny, and he's in like a little like carrot, or what's it called, like a little what are those things called, like a babushka or something?
A baby Bjorn.
Yeah, like it's like
my god, babushka is a scarf you wear over your head. Actually, it's the babushka is a grandmother, but we call the scarves the babushkas as well.
Okay, so I don't know what I was thinking of. There's a term that I was thinking of, but it was like, oh my god, it's just like, holy moly, that made me laugh so hard seeing like
he's
that.
Half the size, yeah.
He's just like helpless, like on like suspended in the air, being like. And it's just so tiny, and they like have him on front, so he's like cradled in the like between the arms of Andre the Giant. It's just so good.
Wesley is such a Mary Sue. He's like just arm over arm in that rope. Yeah. He's an amazing sword fighter. I don't know if he's stronger than Andre the Giant, or rather just like clever to get him in a headlock. He was super smart. I don't know.
He was clearly not stronger. They showed that. They demonstrated that because he's like pushing him, and Fezzik just doesn't even budge. So
yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah.
He's powered by the power of true love, which is
so true.
It's a magnified. It's a force multiplier.
Unbeatable.
By and large. Yeah, it's unbeatable.
He seems so genuinely wounded, and that's something that I really noticed in this couple watch throughs that I did. Like when he finally is able to confront Buttercup at the top of the hill, and he's genuinely like really upset with her, and clearly like is trying. I don't know what his end goal was. If she actually was the person that he portrayed her as, like, oh, how long did you wait? Did you wait a week out of respect, or did you do it that same afternoon, bitch? Like there's such a clear like wounded place that anger is coming from. I mean, I assume he came home initially thinking like she will have been waiting for me this whole time, and then finding out that she was engaged like really upset him. And like for when she finally says like I died that day, he's like, okay, she does still love me. And then like he's ready to reveal himself.
How long? I mean, obviously he couldn't go home when he was still under like the thrall of Dread Pirate Roberts, but once the mantle was passed over and he was Dread Pirate Roberts, how long was he just off pirating before he decided to come and like look for Buttercup? Like, dude, you had it. You were free. You could have sent for her. You could have done something. It wasn't like she was engaged for 5 years. That was a recent development, man.
Yeah. Unclear on the timeline there.
It is unclear. I always interpreted that scene very like as he has this approach. I wouldn't say he's manipulative, but he has a very strategic approach to everything that he says and does, and he likes to provoke people. I always interpret it as him. He's trying to find out by provoking her emotions to see how strong they really are. And, he knows how strong his own emotions are. And so he uses some sort of, roguish tactics to see, what do you really do? You still feel as strongly about me? Was it really true love? And it's him kind of like settling his own doubts and whatnot. And I like that scene. I also, the subsequent tumbling down the hill is amazing, which also done a similar scene, perhaps even a direct reference, is in the movie Hot Rod, where two characters toss themselves, or I think one character tumbles down a extremely long hill, and it is very similarly very goofy, where it's just like oof, 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 oof.
I will say, as a kid who would frequently roll down hills, I didn't appreciate how fucking steep that hill was. I was just like, what's the big deal? I roll down hills all the time and I'm fine.
That's scary.
As a kid, not really calculating the angle of that drop.
I mean, and it presents a real danger. I think when they reach each other at the bottom of the ravine, he asks her if she can move because she could have a spinal cord injury.
You could have easily died from that fall.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Also, this movie predicted COVID.
Masks will be very stylish one day.
I don't know if they've reached.
Everyone will be wearing them.
But certainly everybody was and still to a certain degree, a lot of people do wear them.
Wish that more people were.
Yeah, maybe. It definitely would help. And also, I got to say, we got to talk about the amazing conclusion to Inigo Montoya's arc in getting to confront the despicable Count Rugen. And God, it's him just desperately slamming against the door, being like, I need help. And it's he portrays the intensity of his emotions so well. And then the final thing he says is, I wish I could have my father back. That's what I want.
I want my father back, you son of a bitch.
I want my father back, you son of a bitch. And then stabs him. Yep. And oh my God, it's so good. The
tension of that scene is so good.
Oh, it's so good. And the set design
of that scene is great.
Yeah.
Just because he gets there, he gets the confrontation and immediately gets a knife in the gut. And he's just kind of slumping down defeated, but it's just he has to keep saying the line to juice himself up to be like, no, this is not how it ends. And
he's been relentless. He cannot give up in the ultimate moment. He gives Rugen matching wounds. For every wound he gets, he matches it back, and then finally stabs him in the gut. And the pressing Rugen, promise me money, promise me land or lordship or whatever, give me anything I want. And Rugen, being desperate to live and being a shitty guy, he's like, yeah, man, I'll give you whatever. We know that he will lie. Earlier in the movie, it's like, oh, you sent him back to his ship, right? And he's like, yeah, sure, I did.
Well, and Wesley even tells Rugen's well, we're men of action. Lies do not become us.
Yes, well said, sir.
He's so sniffling and yeah. What's he say? He says he has an intense interest in pain. It's
a deep and abiding interest.
Deep and abiding, that's the one. Yeah, that's right. It's the suction. The instead of sucking water, this sucks your life.
He's such a weird guy. And Humperdinck's just I keep him on the payroll. I find him amusing. He's fun for me.
Well, Humperdinck wants to torture people too. He just happened to get a guy who's really desperately interested in studying how to torture people. So
let me create a big fancy machine.
Beneficial arrangement.
Yeah, and I don't know. I ship them. He's he doesn't even Humperdinck doesn't even care. He's I'm just gonna kill my wife so that we can go to war and me and my
Humperdinck has to be
bud.
gay, right?
Yeah,
he has to be because he has absolutely no interest in Robin Wright.
None. Yeah, no interest
whatsoever.
He's mostly interested in Count Rugen and power, of course,
and hunting.
Yeah, and hunting and
wearing fancy clothes.
Yeah, and it's so funny too. The characterization of him is done very well, where he's the world's best hunter, and it's specifically fox hunting. The entire type of hunting where he's got a party of people and bloodhounds. It's all fox hunting, and he has no prowess in combat. Clearly, he immediately surrenders to a guy who's paralyzed, and on the threat of it. And it is just this guy is it's such a good choice to have him be a fox hunter and to depict the fox hunting of which is just the most dishonorable form of the hunt that you could possibly imagine. It is
just little boys. What
Yeah,
did
it's
the
a little
foxes ever
guy,
do?
and you outnumber the hell out of them, and like bring your posse of like 9 guys with guns and or crossbows, and
dogs do all the work.
dogs. Yeah, they do all the work. Like, yeah, it's wild. It's a good characterization choice.
I also think it's really interesting, and possibly this is what makes this movie kind of stand out and be unique in a way, is like they don't beat the villain at the end, really. Like he's still gonna be king. Like he may very well do the same thing to another woman. Like he's still, you know, like they don't dismember him or do any of the to the pain stuff. They're just like, no, we just want to get out of here and go do our thing and go live peacefully. And like there's also, I guess, kind of an assumption post credits that he doesn't try to take his revenge and go, I'm going to show up at your house. Like,
I imagine that if they had killed the crown prince, that there would be no end of the earth that they could flee, that Florin wouldn't come after them. So maybe it
feels like destabilizing a country. Yeah.
The idea, I think, being like, oh, well, I shattered your psyche and now you have to live with it. Like he says, like, I think Wesley says, like, you have to live the rest of your life knowing how much of a coward you are.
Yeah.
Like, and
they both called him a coward. Like Buttercup called him a coward, and he was like, I'm going to flip the fuck out about this, actually.
When Wesley insults him, he's just like, I've never been insulted in my life. I didn't like that very much.
Mm-hmm. It's like in Dr. Horrible, we're going to make the villain feel pain for the first time. Like, this is what pain feels like. Yeah.
Just before that final scene there, the part where Buttercup is about to stab herself with the like letter opener dagger. Wow, like talk about commitment. That's like just being like, okay, I'm ready to plunge. Here goes. I was like, oh man, it made me a little nervous. I'm like, God, don't do that. Like, oh, that's so scary. Like the resolve with which the blade is lit the chest and ready to go. And oh man, that was a little spooky. She was really ready.
Yeah, it's like Andor.
Yeah.
Like you're really ready to fucking go for it.
Yeah. What a great film. I love this.
Don't ruin your perfect breasts.
As a kid, I always thought this line was silly, unemployed in Greenland. But as an adult, I'm like, that is terrifying. Like, what are you gonna do there? Like, Greenland already has the highest suicide rate in the planet, and like you're unemployed there? Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, that would be a dire strait.
It's a nightmare.
Unemployed in Greenland. Such a great line delivery too. Just so good. Oh man. Yeah. This movie, I swear to God, there's not a single, I don't know. There's not a single moment in this movie that I don't think is like just golden. I don't know. It's a delight to watch. If you're listening to this somehow and you haven't actually watched it, just go watch it right now and enlighten your life. It will. We've
already spoiled most of the funny stuff for you.
But so, it's out of context. None of us can do justice. I cannot do justice to Wallace Shawn's delivery. We cannot do justice to the context of the jokes. You just have to see it. It's the only way to truly live. So
I don't know of any other movies that use the score to punctuate the action as much as this film does.
Yeah, it's really good with that.
Yeah, and it punctuates the dialogue as well, especially like I'm thinking of the scene with Wallace Shawn where they're about to drink the poison, and like there's the nod that gets punctuated with a little string thing. Man, just so good.
It is good. It is very like theatrical. It's very like theater-like with the whole movie.
Yeah.
I was noticing with Rob Reiner that nowadays movie scores are like pretty much through the whole thing, but Rob Reiner does have quite a bit in his movies that we've seen of just moments of no music, where it's just letting the scene play out, and the music is like you've got your main theme, the do 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 do, and in Stand By Me it was the instrumental version of Stand By Me. So you have those themes come in every once in a while, and then you have the punctuated moments, or like the stingers between scene transitions, or the duel of wits, and obviously all the fight scenes and stuff like that. But for a lot of it, it is just like letting dialogue be dialogue and sit on its own. And I'm wondering how much of that is just like back then, because nowadays it just feels like every movie just has a full score. I guess music is quicker to produce these days than it was back then, because so much of it can just be done with a DAW rather than a live orchestra.
Well, I also think there's like mechanisms now that have developed that are, you have entire scoring systems, like any movie that's part of a production at a major house will have access to a pre-existing library of pieces of songs that can be put together immediately, whether they're like, previously recorded thousands of songs songs. Like, I mean, I once had access to Sony's production library. It is truly massive. And you can basically take pieces from thousands of songs or the whole song itself and just immediately license it to plop into your editing timeline. So the mechanisms that exist to like access music like that, it is very different. And while certain types of licensing are more expensive than they've ever been, other types are cheaper than they've ever been. And of course, we don't even need to talk about what AI is going to do on that front. We're going to probably see a bunch of movies with like crap AI soundtracks for this year or 2 years.
Oh yeah, and probably crap and poorly directed special effects sequences too, with the C-Dance 2.0 stuff going around, where you have like very photoreal stuff. Like, I mean, I saw people do like fights between John Wick and Tom Cruise, and like it looks photoreal, but like there's no real art direction in it, and just because it looks like it was expensive doesn't mean it's going to translate well to film, but they're still going to use it anyway. We'll see how that goes.
I heard about one of those that upon review, like one of the characters was just doing move for move a Bruce Lee fight scene from an existing movie, and the AI just was like, we can just plop this character onto it
because it can't create.
Terrible. Yeah, it just is derivative. Yeah,
that's part of why it's so great to watch old movies.
Yeah.
Like you get to really appreciate that everything had to be made for that film, and like especially in like the fact that there's not a lot of CGI, but like the Foley work I think was really good. You know, the thump to the ground stuff, like that kind of stuff as a part of the sound design. You know, Absolutely. I really appreciated that like practical element.
Yeah, and if you're gonna put something into your movie that's like a reference to something else, it's gonna be a tribute. You're gonna be doing your own take on it. And intrinsically, that's not just like here we had an algorithm like copy point for point the image analysis and reproduce it. It's like, okay, we're going to have somebody study what this person had to study to try and reach their level of mastery on some degree. And I don't know, I think there's something to that like adds a layer that's nice. And cool thing is, film's been around a long time now. Lots of movies to watch, lots of good ones.
There's so many good ones, and we're gonna get through a lot of them. Not most of them. That would take
not even
a lifetime, but we'll get through a lot of them. And next, we're going to be doing When Harry Met Sally, which I'm excited for because I've never seen it.
I have not either.
None of us have seen it? Oh, excellent.
I've not. Yeah.
Nice. That's going to be fun.
Yep, that's going to be exciting.
So until then, thank you all so much for joining us. I've been Gayfesh.
I've been Moth.
And I am DemonMama.
And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.